You are stronger than 90% of people who saw this video's thumbnail and were too weak to click on it. You are better than people who run away from hardships, miss out on valuable experience, fall behind, and the moment they have the mandatory boss fight, they are not prepared at all and are wrecked beyond measure. Because just like in video games, where you start with level 1, gain experience points, and level up, eventually becoming a force of nature. Also, people in real life are born weak, but they become strong by confronting and eventually overcoming challenges, in the process gaining valuable skills and strengthening basic attributes like mental resilience. That is why I hope you will find the resilience within yourself to embrace these truths and use them as stepping stones to personal growth. Firstly, the weak have very fragile egos, so they are innerly insecure. So, to gain security, they desperately seek validation from others and cling to accepted opinions like a drowner to a life ring. So, disapproval of even one of their opinions is perceived as an attack to their egos and triggers an animalistic, emotion-driven fight or flight reaction. Meanwhile, the strong have resilient egos, so they are innerly confident, so they are willing to evolve their thoughts based on sufficient evidence, even test their own opinions, because are driven by the pursuit of truth, instead of trying to be right to safeguard own egos. That is why often weak people try to look utterly flawless, while truly strong, just like Socrates, have no problem acknowledging to be full of flaws, that they know nothing, and even asking for help to understand how they can grow. Time for you to do the same. Take a moment to look up your YouTube history and reflect on how many of the last 20 videos are content that aligns with your existing beliefs. How many are videos with ideas that challenge your perspective? How many of your last 10 comments affirm that something is great or bad? And how many ask questions to understand something better? Even if your results are not as you would like them to be, remember, change is possible. You can make your ego much more resilient by seeking out content that challenge your beliefs. Most likely you will be super critical, pointing out flaws in the logic and so on. In that case, embrace your inner critic and apply the same dismissive thinking regarding your initial belief. By playing the devil's advocate, also by going into echo chambers, you can see how the weak are circle jerking, but instead of joining or disapproving them, ask questions trying to understand their point of view. Secondly, again, due to very fragile egos, when the weak succeed, they praise themselves, but when they fail, they blame outside factors. Meanwhile, the strong understand that the outcome depends on multiple factors, ranging from own effort to luck. So they are much more humble, willing to share the spotlight, and learn from own mistakes to avoid repeating them. And it shows a bigger trend, because strong emotions can easily overwhelm the weak, who have low mental resilience. It creates emotion-driven thinking, which is black and white, all or nothing. That is why the weak do not notice nearly as many nuances as the strong. So, they have a much more worse understanding of how the world functions, including how weak they really are. So they continue to make the same mistakes, like not going outside their comfort zones to get stronger, continuing the death spiral of weakness. Again, it is an opportunity to get stronger by self-reflecting. When you win in a team game, such as League of Legends, do you watch the replay? Do you analyze internal and external factors which led to the victory? You can improve the skill by watching replays of your team games, each 10-15 seconds pausing and asking yourself, what and why is it happening? Due to constantly switching between different mindsets, is very exhausting. Much more effective is to first time look only for outside factors and second only from you depending ones, or first time only positive while second only negative. For a much more thorough analysis, you can even watch the replay 4 times, each time from a different perspective. Thirdly, what thing represents being strong? Do you envision an unyielding mountain which has stood for millions of years? Do you think that being strong is all about being unshakable and otherwise perfect? If yes, then your mind is poisoned by weak people. After all, Bruce Lee was right in saying,
Be formless, shapeless, like water.
Even the most majestic mountain will disappear due to erosion and other geologic processes. But water is immortal, recycling billions of years. People who are like water will constantly fall down, but also will always rise up, stronger than before. They understand that the desire to be perfect is a trick of the mind to avoid perceived pain from falling down, but by letting themselves make mistakes, they are not imprisoned in their comfort zones. Also, because the weak are stubborn and moving like mountains, while strong when needed adapt being fluid like water. The weak perish by wasting their energy on things that are not working, cannot change, or are forced to adapt due to external circumstance and pay a steep price, while strong adapt willingly, tapping into their inner strength to seize opportunities before others even recognize them. Fourthly, because strong are mentally resilient, they delve deep into the root causes of their problems and resolve them at the core, creating substantial changes. Meanwhile, the weak, burdened by low mental resilience, try to get rid of the problem as soon as possible. So often opt for quicker solutions that merely address the pressing consequence or outright numb themselves. This short-term fix, like a bandage on a serious wound that's left untreated, allows problems to fester and return even more severe. Congratulations! You are stronger than 90% of people who started to watch this video and 99% of people who saw the thumbnail. Also, hope you handle these harsh truths and grew from them. If you want to continue your self-development journey, just like the legend you are, then these videos will help you.